We're here to give an update on the August 17th officer-involved shooting at 301 Rhode Island Street Southeast. Just a little bit of an update also on the property itself, 301, 303 Rhode Island. I've asked the Southeast Area Commander and Deputy Chief Brown to take a look at the property because, as we know, last Friday, this is also the same location where we had a triple homicide occur. So we are also looking at this property as a whole to see if there's something we need to be concerned about or what has changed. So you'll get the update from the officer-involved shooting now, and hopefully in the weeks to come we'll be able to give an update of what we're figuring out is going on at this problem property. Thanks.
My name is Commander Kyle Hartsock in the Investigations Bureau. I'm going to take you through some of the details of our August 17th, 2023 officer-involved shooting at 301 Rhode Island Street Southeast. This critical incident community briefing will provide information about a male who armed himself during an encounter with our officers, resulting in an officer-involved shooting. You're about to see relevant video footage and photos and learn about other evidence and police procedures related to the case so you can have a better understanding of what occurred based on what we know right now. The police department conducts very thorough criminal and use of force investigations, which typically require investigators to interview multiple witnesses, review hours of video footage, and analyze a significant amount of forensic evidence. We're still at the early stages of this investigation, which can often take several months to complete. Our understanding of the incident may change as this additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. We also do not draw any conclusions about whether the officers acted consistently with our policies and the law until all the facts are known and the investigation is complete. A word of caution. The images and video may be disturbing. When police officers use force to arrest a subject or defend against an attack, it can be graphic and difficult to watch. In addition, there may be strong language by those shown in the video. One officer discharged their weapon during this incident. It was Officer Garrett Howington, who's been with the Albuquerque Police Department since August of 2019. He has no prior officer-involved shootings. He was assigned to the Southeast Area Command during this incident, and he is not fully back to duty yet. The person shot by officers is Pablo Abreu Pena. Pablo is 34 years old, and at the time of this incident had one felony warrant for his arrest. This incident occurred in the Southeast Area Command. Again, it occurred at 301 Rhode Island Street Southeast. While on proactive patrol, Officer Howington observed a male, later identified as Pablo Abreu Pena, spray painting the wheels of a car brand that has a history of being stolen. Another officer arrived to back up Officer Howington. As they talked with the male for approximately 9 minutes, they suspected he was not giving his real name to officers and that the car could be stolen. With little warning, the male stood up and ran away from officers. Both officers gave chase, and the male eventually ran a circle around an apartment building and went back to the same car he was spray painting. Officers observed him reach under the front tire and grab a gun and begin to run again. One officer ran behind him as Officer Howington ran to the opposite side of the building, expecting the suspect to repeat his pattern of running around the building. Officer Howington observed the male come around the corner and told us in a statement he saw him armed with a gun and that he saw a muzzle flash, which is produced when the gun fires by creating a bright light near the tip of the gun. That is where the officer-involved shooting occurred. Here's the OBRD from the backup officer who did not fire during this incident.
¿Tiene
provecho?
Yeah.
¿Pero tiene un provecho? ¿Qué provecho?
Your name.
¿Quién?
Your name.
¿Qué name? Jefe. Jefe. ¿En qué te mandas jefe? ¿Estoy tomando agua?
No, not yet.
¿Cómo?
No.
¿Cómo vas a decir que no, jefe? Está enfermo, jefe.
Hold on. Sit
Jefe.
down.
No,
Sit
no, no,
down.
no. Si está por qué.
Sit down,
Si no he
dude.
hecho nada, no. Toma el agua.
Sit down.
Toma el agua.
Sit down. Hey, don't fucking grab it! Don't grab it!
This is the video from Officer Howington, who does fire his weapon.
What do you got? What do you got?
The fucking gun!
Shots fired. Shots fired.
This is a still shot from the backup officer's video you just saw. The red circle is where investigation believes the gun was being hidden during this encounter with Mr. Pena. As we zoom in on that same photo, you can get a more clear image of where the pistol was hidden behind the tire on the ground. This is a daytime photo of that same car that officers encountered early in the morning that day of the shooting. This is where Officer Howington was positioned as he discharged his weapon. A total of 15 casings were located on scene, 14 on this side of the fence, and 1 casing ejected to the other side of that wooden fence you see in the photo. This is just a closer image of where the casings were located when Officer Howington fired. This image shows some of the impacts as he fired down that kind of alleyway next to the building, hitting the wall behind. This is the dirt lot just north of 301 Rhode Island. 301 Rhode Island can be seen in the background, that white building. During a search of this open field, a revolver was found that we believe to be the same revolver that Mr. Abreu Pena had during the shooting. We also just observed blood on top of the fence, and during the initial investigation, we believe that he was likely struck by gunfire and was bleeding as he escaped. This is a picture of the revolver that we recovered from that field. There were no casings in the cylinder, and at this time there's no knife-in leads for this firearm, but I'll let you know, usually with revolvers it's rare that we recover casings because they retain the casings as opposed to most firearms that eject them out and leave them. As we searched the neighborhood for Mr. Pena Abreu, we found blood on this fence of a residence very close to where the shooting occurred. As we spoke to the homeowners, they were able to provide this ring video where we believe Mr. Abreu is seen walking just after the shooting through the yard, likely wounded. With the help of New Mexico State Police, soon after the shooting occurred, after Mr. Abreu was identified, we were able to determine that he was at a residence nearby, and other people were helping take care of his wounds at the time. The Albuquerque Police Department and New Mexico State Police worked together to execute a search warrant on this home, and Mr. Abreu was found inside with what appeared to be bullet wounds to his lower half of his body. He had not seen professional medical care, and the people inside appear to be taking care of him. The other 2 people that were inside the house at the time police surrounded it were initially released. They didn't make any statements, but through the investigation, our department has now charged Tyler Rose Vargas and Valiente Nunez with harboring a felon, and they have felony warrants for their arrest at this time. Again, the person shot by officers was Pablo Abreu Pena. He was 34 years old, and he's actually still in the hospital right now seeking treatment from the wounds and under guard by our officers. So he will be booked into the jail for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer and other crimes once he's released from the hospital. Over the next several months, the police department will continue to investigate and analyze this incident. We'll continue interviewing any new witnesses that come forward and complete any forensic test. After the investigation is complete, our Force Review Board will forward the findings to the Superintendent of Police Reform to determine if this incident met the high standards of the Albuquerque Police Department. The MATF will forward their case to the District Attorney's Office, who will make any determination of criminal charges. If you guys have any questions, we'll try to answer them.